Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Terraria Journeys In playthrough, and I'm just noticing some neat little details like that flying eye in the background. But, oops, I'm here at the end of a world, fish in the ocean. Since last episode we did get the fiberglass fishing pole, so might as well put it to some use and catch some shrimp. Just see what my bait gets me. And while I'm doing this, here are the Eater of Worlds fights from the last episode that got cut short due to time. So if we head out this way, I believe there's a corruption not too far. Ooh, and we get a demolitionist for the trouble. Go away, you. Oh, that was no good. We got plenty of bombs though. Oops. That was close. We only need to smash 2 orbs. To summon the boss. And planning out those 2 orbs will be very useful. If we smash this one here, oops, and hopefully not kill ourselves in the process. Screams echo around us. Do we get anything interesting from there? A shadow orb. And then if we smash one of these ones, let me see if we do it here. Kill him. You know what would be useful? Maybe a couple of buffs. And now just down here, still got some hearts over there. Let's fight the Eater of Worlds. Oops. No, don't kill yourself. Oh, we got some good damage in there, but we're dying now. Maybe we should have done this on the surface. Here we go, it's about to become a lot worse. Well, that was stupid of me. I knew there was a chance that would happen. So what do you think? Larger arena? And it didn't take long. Barely 5 minutes, but we've got a Reaver Shark. So, huge pickaxe upgrade. Okay, I've given myself a bit more space because that was one of the things that really held me back last time. I got trapped. I couldn't get around. Oops. Only one there. Here we go. Time to go again. Oops. And this time I'm actually going to pick up these hearts. Oh dear. Getting battered around a bit. I think I'm doing better than I was last time. Honestly, it's a bit hard to tell, but I'm not dead just yet. Oops. Maybe some platforms would have helped a bit. Okay, I've split him. I've split him. Let's take care of Mr. Small first. Oops, I'm about to die. No, I'm still about to die. Oh. Go away. No, no, no. I'm doing much better this time. And I died. But he drops shadow scales. Oh, that's what we need. And we'll return later to defeat the Eater of Worlds. For now though, why did I come out all this way? Well, just over here we have the dungeon, which once we've defeated the Eater of Worlds will be next on our list of targets to defeat Skeletron. And before then, I would like to get a little outpost set up. Preferably one with a pylon. And the most convenient pylon to put out here would be a house or two here in the desert, with the desert pylon nearby, since it's not too far, in fact. Yeah, barely any distance at all. Much easier than the walk from the center of the world here. So that calls for a nice short little time lapse. If we are going to do a desert themed build though, it might be useful to have some building blocks. Ooh, ooh, that hurt. So I came here to the underground desert to die, it would seem. Must make note, don't touch cactuses. There's also a fair bit of lava around. And that's moving, so that's a mob. We've got the usual ant lions. Oops. And thanks to our bit of fishing earlier, we can now mine desert fossils. They act very similar to boulders. Now I wonder if they grow, because that would be very interesting. Oh, the sound that they make makes you jump. So these are actually antlion lava. Cool. They've probably appeared in the bestiary, but that would explain why they're everywhere. Having said that though, most of the enemies are everywhere here. Ooh, they can roll uphill. Okay then, let's try out these new scarab bombs. Oops. What's it gonna do? Nice, it's actually a pretty decent range. And okay, you can hurt yourself with them. Okay, so the scarab bombs are craftable from the sturdy fossils. And you can create the antlion eggs. So maybe there's a whole antlion life cycle now. We could try that. Shall we experiment? Heavy workbench and ectomist. Well, we can get that. Do we have the ant? We've got antlion mandibles. Here we are. Antlion eggs. We'll create 2. And then we will place them just in here, I think. One there. And can we reach anywhere here? One there. And if we break this one, we'll see what happens to the antlion larvae, and we'll see if that hatches naturally. It can be our experiment. Of course, we may find that they just despawn when I leave the area, but who knows? However, since we now have materials and we now know where we're going to build this new outpost, let's start that time-lapse music. And here it is. So fairly simple, just underground, because that's where you build houses in the desert. It's cooler down there. A little trick I picked up from the wiki is because you need 2 NPCs around to use the pylons. If you move a pet in with a single house, then you only need to have 1 vendor present to use your pylon as intended. So that's why we've only got 1 house here, but the pylon is still functional, as I'll show in a second. One thing which you probably saw during the time lapse, and I'm a little bit disappointed, is if we take some hardened sand, because one of the problems with building underneath sand in Terraria is sand falls. It's affected by gravity. Hardened sand isn't though, so what I planned to do was come along and replace the sand with hardened sand so that using the block swap, so that I could just tunnel in without having to deal with excavating a huge area and then filling it back in with sand. Unfortunately, as you can see, you can't replace sand with any other block, and that is with any other block, while it's got other sand on top of it. And indeed, you can't. You can replace other blocks, just not particularly sand, which is a little bit annoying. It would be nice if that were different. Because, as I said, it would have made it so much easier to tunnel into sandy areas, and you'd still have some danger of sand falling on you. Probably have even more danger because you'd be more at ease with digging underneath sand. So if you make a mistake, you'll be caught unaware. And yeah, it just disappointed me that that doesn't work, especially as, and I don't want to show it here, I'll show you outside. You can still replace other blocks. So if I take sand, I can still replace that there, and so the sand all drops, and what I'm left with is yeah, it's just a little bit disappointing. But that's the desert outpost. It's right next to the dungeon over here, and it's also nice and convenient to the ocean at the east of the world, I think, or west of the world, one or the other. Certainly much more convenient than the home base, though there is still this hill to climb. And I'd even go so far as to say it is more convenient from here to here than it is from here to here, especially since there's corruption here. So the ocean pylon will probably go on this side of the world. And then we've just got the snow pylon somewhere in here. Not terribly fussed about that one, but we will build it sometime, just to have all the pylons built. Which just leaves somewhere to build the cavern pylon. Oh, I don't have any plans for that just yet. However, as I said, the pylon now works, and we can get to the dungeon nice and conveniently. There's also a bed in there, so when we're exploring the dungeon or fighting Skeletron, we don't need to go via the pylon to get back here. Something else that might also be convenient would be an opening on this side, which, thanks to our little bit of fishing, is manageable. Okay then, how's our experiment going? Well, the hatched antlion larva has despawned, so they probably won't grow up into a full antlion, and the antlion eggs are still there, so who knows if they will hatch, but I guess we'll find out. Well, it's time we defeated the Eater of Worlds for real this time. So, oops, bad time. I will buff up this time, which I didn't do last time. Let's get rid of this lot. And then, oops, oh no, oh no. I gotta stop getting hit by the head, or anything else for that matter. Phew. Oh, knockback is killing me. I need to get on that side. There we go. That's a bit better. This is much better. Even though I'm now caught in an endless knockback loop. And there's lots of them. I should at least get a heap of shadow scales from this. How long until I heal? A long time until I heal. Maybe I should have switched to the vial phone earlier, but we got down to about half health, which is a big improvement, and we have got some shadow scales to pick up. So let's go do that. And this is about the time when I apologise for a bit of delay in releasing this video. I have been a little bit sick, nothing serious, but sore throat, and I felt it important to protect my voice. So while I've been recovering from that, I've not been doing any recording, but that's okay. So how many shadow scales do we get? 16 shadow scales. There's none hidden up here. I don't think so. I don't have any weapons that can pierce walls on me at the moment. Oh well, there is a vile fawn, but I wasn't using that, even though I perhaps should have been. So one of the downsides to taking a break is you end up out of practice. But practice is not going to happen right now because we have a blood moon. So another thing is that I have also made another video, one that isn't in Terraria. So I'll be releasing that shortly. Keep an eye out. Yes, the rest shall be a secret, and probably won't be a major thing at the moment. Maybe in the future I might make a series out of it, but for now it will just be the one-off, and I will continue making these Terraria videos. I think that's all I have to say for now, so I shall fend off this blood moon. And we can reconvene at the site of the next, or maybe even the final, Eater of Worlds fight. So, a couple of highlights from the blood moon. I found a gnome, which, according to the bestiary, isn't anything related to the blood moon. Just spawn during the higher spawning rates. They must be pretty rare though, because this is the first one I've seen. So that's interesting. And also interesting is that apparently if you try to sleep the blood moon away, time will not travel any faster. It will just stay as it is. Meanwhile, all the zombies of course break into your house and try to kill you. So you can't skip a blood moon by sleeping. I'm going to guess the same would occur for other time-based events such as the solar eclipse. But fought my way through the blood moon, didn't die once, and yes. So now we return to fighting the Eater of Worlds, and since this has already been a very Eater of Worlds heavy episode, I think I will cut to the winning fight, and probably not until a fair way through the winning fight. Which means I shall see you when I'm victorious. I'll tell you what, using the vial font makes a big difference. I should have totally been using it more earlier. But I need to start. It does have limited mana. Oops. Helps to press the right button on the keyboard. Here we go. Oh, now we're making some progress. It's an absolute bloodbath now. Come on, come for me. Come for me. Once the segments start dying and you get all your mana stars, you can just spam it. Oh, I should have started with the vile fawn. So, lesson learned, use the obvious weapon first. Now then, I'm gonna do a quick little bit of mining. How odd. The Reaver Shark can no longer mine. Only 59% pickaxe power. I see. So they've nerfed the Reaver Shark. I wonder if it still mines Hellstone. Or if you need a Demonite pickaxe for that. This is an interesting development. But we do have all the materials to make a Demonite pickaxe, so no real loss there. Let's open up the treasure bag. We've got the worm scarf, as expected. This is very powerful piece of equipment and will help a lot against Skeletron. And we didn't get anything else, just the shadow scales and Demonite ore and a little bit of money. And that was in fact the first fight since I told you I was going to skip to the winning fight. All I really needed to do was change the weapon I was using to one more suited to the boss. It's something I struggle with. I usually play melee focused characters, mostly because you don't have to aim. But that means that we are at the end of the episode. Next episode, we shall take on Skeletron for the first attempt, and then possibly dig a elevator, since that's one of the places we've yet to explore. The other option is fighting Queen Bee, but we'll fight Skeletron first, give it a shot, and then work on getting upgrades that will probably be needed to finally defeat Skeletron. Which means that I will leave you here. Take care. I've already said this, but I'm pretty sure it was in footage that didn't record properly. But oh, I love the atmosphere of the thunder. Just hearing that crackle, very good.